What I think is important that we report back on this in a year or so to see how these bylaws are working. And also you heard today that there's a real need to ensure that there's not a lot of consumption of cannabis in any of its forms in public spaces and places, and especially where children are have access to. So those are some of the key things I think we're looking at as far as making amendments to what's before us today.
What Alberta Health Services is recommending as Council considers the issue is that they strengthen the smoking bylaw so that smoking and vaping is not allowed in parks nor in public places where children are present or at public events.
I think enforcement it's really complex when it comes to this. We're talking about medicinal marijuana, and the last thing we want to do is stigmatize the legal use of marijuana, because the reality is that's what this is all about. So we're really looking at the illegal conduct that's out there, and we're going to do our best to train the public or educate the public on what we're doing, but also educate our officers and train our officers, and working with groups like bylaw and everybody else around in our communities to make sure we're doing this in a balanced.
We certainly expect that as things roll along, we'll be continuing to come back to council and to committee to address those issues. So things such as lounges, edibles, we know that those are down the road for sure, but we're also aware of the fact that there's things that we may not have thought of yet, and we certainly have heard that from other jurisdictions that have dealt with this. We've been given a deadline, we've been given something to do, and our job is to determine how feasible that will be at the end of the day. So we're obviously working towards a feasible system for Calgarians and then making sure that what we have on the ground for day one of legalization will work for the City of Calgary.